Okay, so the first part of the experiment was calcium chloride and water. We got 2 small scoops of calcium chloride and we used 5 milliliters of water and we mixed it in a graduated cylinder. After stirring it up with a stirring rod and letting it dissolve in water, we then felt the glass and the glass was warm to the touch, meaning that it was an exothermic reaction because the glass was actually giving off heat to our hand, which is why it felt warm. But all in all, the first part of the experiment was only a physical reaction. There was no evidence of a chemical reaction. There was no bubbles, no changing of substance, no nothing. So there wasn't any chemical change at all. And then the second part of the experiment was calcium carbonate and vinegar, or acetic acid. We got the calcium carbonate first, and we put some of that in the bottom of the test tube, or the graduated cylinder, sorry. And then we poured the vinegar in very, very slowly with a dropper, and immediately we noticed that there was bubbles forming really, really fast. And then once we got up to 5 milliliters, there was a ton of bubbles rising up, and they were all white, and it was a really violent reaction. And then we felt the glass, and the glass was cold. So this part of the experiment was an endothermic reaction because it was taking energy from our hand and putting it back into the glass, which is why it feels cold. This indeed was a chemical change because bubbles were formed. And we think it's a new substance just because it looked way different and there was bubbles being formed.